So, excuse me. So, I think this is Clark. Clark has awesome questions. He had like five or six yesterday. So he goes, how do you lead? Here we go. How did I decide upon real estate, which I talked about yesterday? You can watch that video. Sorry for it being super long yesterday. As opposed to any other business, I talked about that you have to do so much stuff that you understand what you do not want to do and things that you do want to do: marketing, sales, technology, investing, banking, programming, talking to people, accounting, whatever. There's millions of things to do. There's a guy that is literally making seven figures making sandcastles. That's insane, but he likes sandcastles. So you can literally do anything in today's world. Lindsey Sterling got pushed off The Voice or one of those TV shows, I don't know, or America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent, one of those shows. And now she has 9 million followers on YouTube and is a multi-millionaire violinist, like a rock violinist. So you can do anything. Just try everything. In obviously in Lindsey's case, check her out. She's awesome, and she's a beautiful person too. She's very passionate, just beautiful person inside and outside. Yeah, she's attractive, but she's just a really good overall person. How many people do you have working for me? I have 2 full-time. I have 2 part-time. What was your first large milestone you accomplished in any area of your life on your path to a stronger you? I would say just realizing what you're going to start doing. This is actually a really good question. Is that you're going to start realizing as you go onto this path that it's not, first of all, it's not overnight. I will never play the lottery because I do not want to win. I don't want a windfall of $50 million because I don't want people to call me lucky. I want to earn it. Okay? And it's not about the accomplishment, it's the person you become. And you're not going to understand that right now. And I didn't either. However, this is super important right now, is that after year after year after year after year after year after day after hour after minute after all these I've spent 100,000 in seminars. I've spent maybe 100 hours, 1 million hours on YouTube. I've read hundreds or thousands of books. And the thing is, I'm 8 years into this journey. And what you're going to realize is you're going to start passing your friends. You're going to start passing people that you used to look up to. I used to socially look up to my manager at my old company. And then I was like, holy cow, I'm on a totally different paradigm on the way I look at life. I look at life like an opportunity. I look at life like it's happening for me, not to me. A lot of people, you'll hear it in the elevator. People just say the words. They ask the question, "How are you doing?" And the same stupid answer comes out by all of them. Every single person. It really pisses me off. They go, "I'm just surviving, just getting by. The same old." What does that mean, bro? What are you doing? Dude, you're going to look back at your youngest part of your life. And by the way, everyone that's looking or viewing this is probably younger than me. And I'm young. And I'm only getting younger, to be honest. Age, so this is a perfect example, is that people are like, oh my God, I'm 30, I got to get married, I got to have kids, I got to buy a house, or blah, blah, blah. I have none of that. And that's not even in my forethought. I want to date as many women to make sure that the one that I choose is the first and last one I'm going to marry. I want to make sure that I spend so much time at work that in 5-6 years, when I start buying and investing in multiple family homes and apartments and buildings and start speaking and writing and all that I am together. Everything is together. So you're going to start on this journey, and you said, what's your biggest milestone? I would say the realization that I am now looking at life through a different lens. And people are going to smell your confidence. You know how when people walk into a room and you're like, wow, this guy's successful, or he's done something in his life, or they have a lot of money. It's because of how they're coming off. It's their demeanor. And they don't even know that they may know, but there's such a difference between someone that has a low, it's known as an LVE, low frequency. I did a video about this. Low frequency versus high frequency. Low frequency is bored and just going like this. High frequency is how I respond to these videos. Is that high frequency begets high frequency. High frequency people, high frequency girls, money, job, life, looks, habits, fashion, everything. Everything in their life. If they are passionate and they're loving and they're giving and they don't look to the external for their happiness, in other words, they are grateful for who they are in their very presence, they look at life at a totally different lens. My lens of looking through life will blow you away. It's seriously, I'm like Neo in the Matrix. Like I see the numbers coming down like a screen and I can like pick it out and things move slower and I like see body language things like, is the girl playing with her hair on her date or is she like rubbing her hand? Is she like interested, is she interested, not interested? I'm talking to a buyer or a seller and I see the body language and everything like that. I'm telling you right now, you're going to go through life totally different. And the only way to get there is education, removing all of the negativity in your life. That's people, that's things. I have no computer at home. I have no notifications to I have no computer. I have no TV at home. I have no notifications to my iPhone. I don't have any watch on me. This is called Pavlok. You can look it up. It's a pretty crazy device. Pavlok. You can look it up. Okay, so how do you acquire places to show, especially at the beginning of your business? That's a very technical question in real estate. Honestly, you just got to hustle. You got to call on people. You got to be proficient in social media. Social media is huge. What I'm doing right now is going to build my brand for 5 and 10 years in the future. You're seeing me at 400 and how many subscribers? 465 subscribers right now. And in the future, I'm going to have 500 and then 1,000 and 2,000. And it's like, build your brand now. And building your brand is not just social media, but it's who you are in person. Do you show up positively? Do you add to the party? Do you add to your social circle, to your work? Are you looking towards, if you're not looking towards advancing at work, leave that work immediately, today. Like literally do what I did. Pull a ripcord in the middle of a recession and just leave work. That's what I did. All right, so if I could tell my younger self something, what would it be and why? Wow, Clark, you're really going in it. What would I tell myself? You know what I would tell myself? And ironically enough, I think there's a video about this. And it's really that everything's going to be okay. You know, I even now, you know, I go through and there's like ups and downs in the business. There's emotional highs and honestly in real estate, as much as it looks good on TV, and I've been on the TV show $1 Million Listing, as good as it looks on TV, there's some deep chasms and there's some really high, and it can just literally go like this in a day, and it's just an emotional roller coaster. Right now it's 7:31. I had a long day. I met with my agents individually and as a group, and I need to pick my game up as well. So that's what I'm worried about. But just know the path you're on is happening for you. All the bad things, and as Tony Robbins says, all of the suffering that you have in life, all of it is there on purpose. The biggest suffering that I had in my life, the worst breakups, the worst jobs that I had, where I just absolutely hated it. When I was at Olive Garden, I was working Olive Garden after I graduated, and I remember walking by the entrance. This is crazy. So I'm walking by the entrance of Olive Garden. I just graduated college. I hear my name. I turn around. I'm like, holy cow, Mr. and Mrs. blah, blah, blah. It was my ex-girlfriend's parents. And I'm like, they're like, what are you doing here? I was like, what are you guys doing here? They're like, we're eating. I'm like, I'm working here. And that was a really big pain point because they were wealthy at the time, and they're looking at their daughter. I wasn't dating her at the time, but they were looking at their daughter, and they were like, good thing you dumped them. Good thing you got rid of them. And that was a big, big pain point. And that was a pain point right then that I was embarrassed. I was ashamed that I graduated college and I was working at the Olive Garden. I just knew that I needed to use that as leverage. So all the pain points, the people that die in your life, the relationships that you go through, the firings, the bad jobs, the wake ups, when there's a statistic that people that have their first heart attack will live longer than people that never had a heart attack. Because the first heart attack awakens them. And I know a couple of people that this actually happened. They started eating well, they started exercising because they wanted to live to their children's graduation, to their children's wedding, to have to live to their grandkids. So the biggest suffering begets their biggest happiness. They have to look